Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I created this makeup look, and after a long time, I would be doing a chatty get ready with me. I never thought that I would be talking about COVID-19 on my channel, at least on my channel, but seeing the current situation, seeing the second wave, I thought that I need to tell you certain facts. Now, this video is not kind of propaganda or agenda against any government or in favor of any particular government or political party. It is what I feel, what I have learned through my experience, and what I am learning through all the articles that are present right now, that are being published right now about COVID-19, and my views and what should be done, to keep ourselves safe. I thought, what better way to express my views other than to do some makeup, to chill and express my views. I really do not want to create any kind of panic, but just few things I really wanted to talk about, and so this video is all about it. And grab yourself some water, grab yourself some snacks as I do my makeup and talk about the current situation. If you are new to my channel, then please do take a moment to hit the subscribe button and also press the bell icon. This would mean absolutely everything to me. So thank you so much for watching this video, and without any further ado, let's get started. First, I would be starting out with priming my face. So whatever the product I would be using, I would be mentioning everything here. So yeah, we are in the midst of a pandemic, and we were actually since 1 year or more than that, and the first wave passed away, the cases started decreasing from the end of September. By January and February it was kind of under control, okay, but from February end onwards the cases started increasing once again. If you see how the second wave turned out to be in other countries like UK or Italy or US, the second wave was huge. I mean, the number of cases were 3 or 4 times the first wave. Now, when the other countries started experiencing a second wave, various new mutant of the COVID-19 virus came into the scene. So various mutant strains were discovered, like the UK strain, the South Africa strain. In Brazil there was one strain discovered. I really do not remember the name as of now. And so yeah, this happened. Basically, it is in the natural history of any of the viruses, like many, specifically in this flu viruses, the kind of flu viruses, they have this tendency to mutate, okay, and what happens that in most cases they mutate and then they lose their potency, the potency to infect and the virulence. But sometimes the mutations can go in the opposite direction and they can turn out to be more on the virulent and the infective side. Infective side of the things. So recently I read in one of the articles that the UK strain and the South Africa strain, they were found in some of the populations or some of the samples of Kerala. Okay, so that was kind of a warning signal that second wave was pending and it was going to arrive in India. The thing is that in any natural history of pandemic, if you have seen, a first wave is usually followed by a second wave. If you see what happened in the Spanish flu, the second wave was really huge. It cleared approximately 1/3 of the European population. Now, I'm not going much into the history. I won't be talking about the negative things much, but yeah, I'm just stating certain facts that what actually happens. So, as I was saying, the cases started increasing from February end onwards, somewhat around 20th February onwards. It started increasing, a steady increase. So the cases actually came down to somewhere around 7,000 and 8,000, and they started increasing. And as you all know, the cases started increasing a lot in Maharashtra, okay, with Mumbai, Amravati, and few of the districts in Maharashtra getting hit really badly. So that was just the start of the second wave, and by that time actually the gatherings were going on in full-fledged flow. People were traveling. I shouldn't complain about traveling because yeah, till November, December, January, early part of February, traveling was okay, not okay, but if you maintain the precautions and all and everything, then kinda it was okay. I'm not telling this to justify my traveling endeavors. In February, we stopped everything. Basically, by mid of January, we stopped everything. And okay, I need to apply some concealer here as well. It's fine. So, yeah. So the gatherings, the marriage functions, and all such things started happening. In fact, many of the workplaces they got opened up. The schools and colleges also started reopening. So basically, people started accumulating in a large amount, and I mean, the gatherings started happening. Also, since the COVID cases came under control, so there was a certain laxity being shown amongst the general populace, and not much of COVID specific precautions were being taken. Although people were told to wear masks by the government and all such authorities, but thing is that it happens. It's normal psychology. I mean, I can understand what actually happened. The cases started declining, and the government reopened everything, and it felt like that things are returning to normalcy. So actually the people became a bit lax. The COVID specific protection or precaution or the lifestyle, it started taking a back seat. They were not maintaining. I mean, it was kind of, since the gathering started happening, the accumulation of people started happening, so it was kind of difficult, or it was kind of, this maintaining this social distancing, wearing mask and washing hands using sanitizer. They started, they came to be in the backseat of our mind. And by that time, the new strains had come into the Indian population. They had started to infect a small part of the population. It was in fact out in the papers as well that the strains have been found in Kerala. The UK strains were found in Kolkata as well, and in many cities. Yeah, in Jharkhand as well. Okay, I read that specifically. And then by the end of March, it started. Initially, it was a steady growth. Okay, the cases were increasing, I know, and people were still not taking note of it. People were still not paying much heed to it. But after a steady increase, the cases started increasing many folds from March end onwards. Okay, and by April beginning, if I'm not wrong, the cases crossed the 1 lakh value, which was, I think, our previous peak was at around 98 or 99,000. It did not cross the 1 lakh mark, but by April, it actually crossed the previous peak, and that time the government officials and the healthcare officials and the authorities, they actually took note that something really big is happening, something major is actually happening. So the thing, and also I would like to say the vaccination process were also going on, but not much proportion of the population got vaccinated. The vaccination was mainly for, initially it was for the healthcare workers and people above 60 years of age with comorbidities, and gradually people above 45 years of age with comorbidities were also included in the vaccination program. But of course, the Indian population is huge and the vaccine manufacturing, resources are limited. So it happened that the vaccine stocks started getting depleted. One more reason why this kind of lax attitude towards COVID-19 or COVID safety precaution was that as more and more people started getting vaccinated, they thought that probably they started getting immune to the virus, which is not exactly the case. If you go through the articles regarding the vaccine and the recent article that came out on the Center for Disease Control, a very minute population of vaccinated individuals in the US have been found to have severe diseases, and that has been found mostly in the population above 60 years of age. And even if the people got infected after getting vaccinated, the disease largely remained mild to moderate, and the mortality was also very less. Okay, so questions were raised regarding the efficacy of the vaccine also, and so these things basically happened that because of the vaccination processes and the cases going down, people started getting avoiding the COVID specific precautions or the COVID-19 lifestyle. Okay, so this happened and the cases started increasing gradually and steadily, and then it started increasing drastically. Now what is the scenario right now? Previously in the first wave, what happened was mostly, like, I also worked in a COVID hospital, and what I saw that mostly people above the age of 25 to 60 got affected. I personally saw very less number of young people getting affected with the disease, and I think one or two 17 or 18 years old patients who were highly obese got infected. Okay, otherwise the disease were affecting mainly the people beyond 50 years of age. People belonging to the age group of 40 to 50 were getting infected, but the ventilator requirement was really less. And I also saw patients who got into ventilator who were around the age of 46 coming out of ventilator. Seeing old patients coming out of the ventilator was kind of rare, but still I would say many of the patients, they recovered. Now the situation is and I never saw children getting affected. I heard about one or two pediatric patients getting infected with the disease, but I never saw it myself. Okay, so basically it was a hypothesis that because of the presence of the thymus gland in young pediatric age group patients, the virus infection was not that severe, or it was not that present. But now the situation has changed like anything. The thing is, many of the young patients, they are getting infected like anything. 1 or 2 days back, I got a news that a 29-year-old patient with no comorbidities kind of succumbed to the disease, and various other kind of news are out in the papers, like a baby getting infected. So basically right now, and initially in the first wave, it was considered that probably people with good immune system can get recovered very easily, or might have lesser chances of getting infected with the disease, but it is not the case right now. Each and every age group of the patients, irrespective of age, sex, and the presence of comorbidities, can get infected. Now currently the cases are huge, okay, and I wouldn't blame entirely on the government or anything like that, because in any country the resources are always limited. All we need to do and all we need to understand is the proper utilization of the available resources. Thing is that right now it's not the time to put the blame on anyone. Now, talking any further, I would like to say this is not a propaganda, this is not any hidden agenda. This is what I am feeling right now, and really want to talk my heart out regarding the current pandemic situation, because I think that people should know, and me as a doctor, I need to tell certain things. Okay, so as I was saying, that we need to do the proper utilization of the resources. Okay, I know that the health system or the health infrastructure of our country, specifically talking about the public health infrastructure of this country, is not that up to the market. Like the doctor-patient ratio is very less, and also not much is spent into the health sector. Okay, but right now it's not the time to crib regarding all those things. Fine. The best we can do right now is to think that how to not burden it any further, how to not stress it out any further. Okay, I right now I'm not only talking about the doctors, I mean any individual who is working in the healthcare system. Okay, be it the doctor, the receptionist sitting at the counter, the nurses, the cleaner, the sweeper, like every individual who are involved in this entire health sector. In fact, my heart goes out to the ambulance drivers. Okay, so each and every individual who are in this healthcare sector is overburdened, is stressed out. Okay, so right now the least we can do is not to put any further pressure on them. Fine. One thing I would like to point out is I really do not like it, and I really wanted to call out is the VIP culture in the hospitals. I mean the preference that are being given to the influential people. Okay, people who have political cash, people who have like a huge amount of influence, they are getting the beds in the hospital really easily. I personally see, being having worked in a hospital, I mean having worked in various government hospital, this actually exists, which is really frustrating and which is really unjust. I mean, health should be, when we were studying community medicine, health is for all. Okay, every individual in this country should have equal access to all the healthcare facility. Okay, now I know that the public healthcare system is not that much advanced in our country, but it actually caters to a large population of the poor and the below poverty line families. And this time the situation is such that people from every strata of the society are getting infected like anything. Okay, so right now this is the current situation. The beds are not available. There is very much shortage of oxygen supply, medical grade oxygen. There's shortage of drug supply. Even the basic drugs like ivermectin, doxycycline, they are also in shortage of supply because the amount of infection, like the number of patients that are getting infected every day are increasing like anything. And as I told, that resources are always limited. Okay, and not to play the blame game anymore. Now it is a responsibility of all of us, each and every individual citizen of this country, to to prevent overburdening of this healthcare system of our country, and to prevent the further spread of infection. I know only thing that we can do is contribute our bit in breaking the chain of transmission of this virus. Now I'm going to talk about how we can do our bit in containing the spread of infection. First thing first is stay at home, right? But not many of us has the luxury of staying at home. I very well understand that. Apart from the healthcare system, many systems do need people to come out of their respective homes and go to offices and work there, like many of the government offices. And other than that, also there are many systems that require people to step out of their home and go to their respective workplaces. I understand that many of the workplaces, they have decreased their strength to 50% in order to prevent crowding of the places. But what we can do is we can wear mask. It is as simple as that. Wear mask. And when I'm talking about wearing a mask, the mask shouldn't be here. Okay, it shouldn't be hanging on the neck. it shouldn't be hanging below the lips, it shouldn't be hanging beneath the nose. It should be here. Alright, so wear the mask. Masking up is a necessity. It is indispensable for our survival. As for the Lancet study that has come out recently, this virus is an airborne infection. Now, what is meant by airborne infection? It is spread by droplet particles when an infected person sneezes or coughs, and the virus remains suspended in the air for as long as 3 hours. So, in closed confined spaces or places where there is too much of overcrowding or there is a huge gathering of people, if any infected individual is out there, there's a huge probability that the people who are in the close vicinity of that particular infected individual can get infected, okay, because the other people are also gonna breathe the same contaminated air. Fine. So if every individual wears a mask, the risk of inhaling the contaminated air is decreased like anything. Coming to the masks, the best would be an N95 mask. Now there are good disposable N95 that are available in the market. You can get it from online as well, and they are quite affordable, you guys. I recently ordered N95 from Flipkart, and the quality was really good, and also they can be reused. There are many washable N95 available in the market and also in online stores. Get them, and if you really want to reuse them, I mean, in order to increase the durability of your N95 mask and to keep yourself safer, what you can do is cover your N95 mask with a layer of a fabric mask or a surgical mask, okay? That way what happens, the upper portion of your N95 remains protected, okay? It doesn't get contaminated with the virus that easily. I wouldn't say that it doesn't get contaminated at all, but the contamination is much lesser, okay? So basically, double mask up. Simple fabric masks prevent the spread of virus, prevent the inhalation of viruses, but they are not that effective as the N95 masks are. Okay, even 2 layers of surgical masks are also really good. If you are not able to procure an N95 mask right now, it's still absolutely fine. Go ahead with your normal fabric mask. Try to double mask up. Okay, wear 2 layers of fabric mask. That will also provide a good degree of protection. And make sure whenever you are stepping out of the house, never ever, I have always stressed on the fact that never leave the house in the daytime without the sunscreen. Similar way, never leave your house, be it during the daytime or the nighttime, without a mask. Like sunscreen and mask, both are important, right? I would be talking about the maskne or the acne caused by mask in my next video, but right now I will be concentrating mainly on the preventive measures for COVID-19 infection. And the way the infection is widespread right now, you just can't think of, stepping out of the house without a mask. Now the thing is that I know it is not very much practically feasible or very much possible, but still I would like to say that if elderly people are there in your family, if they are present in your household, and if you have to go out for your work regularly, then I would say try to maintain a distance with the elderly people in your family. Maintain good amount of physical distancing as much as possible, and try wearing a single layer of mask while talking to them, because in my opinion, you just cannot risk the health of the elderly in your family, okay? And if they have got vaccinated, then definitely it's an added protection. But why to invite the risk of the virus? Why to invite the risk of getting infected? I mean, we all want to be safe. We all want our loved ones to be safe. So till the second wave dies down, or the cases starts to recede to a good amount, what we can do the least is that just wear a simple single layer fabric mask or a surgical mask while at home while conversing with our parents. If we maintain a little bit of our distance with the elderly in our family, this is kinda, not guarantee or completely, but probably this will kinda ensure protection from the diseases to the elderly. Coming to the house hand washing. Of course, hand washing is important. I just cannot stress more on this fact. Although it has been established as an airborne infection, but still we do need to sanitize ourselves and wash our hands frequently. If possible, carry a spray sanitizer with you. The one from the brand of Savlon that I particularly use, it is really good. Although the smell is really very strong and it actually gets into my head, but right now I can't complain or give an excuse. It has to be used no matter what. And when you enter your home, I mean, and there are elderly in your family or small children, okay, while the things that I mentioned for the elderly in your family, it also applies when if you have small children in your family. Try maintaining a distance. I know it is very difficult, I know it is kind of practically impossible, but these are like small sacrifices that we all need to make at this hour of despair. We just want safety for everyone. Small things can actually ensure safety and prevent infection to ourselves and also our loved ones. Okay, I was talking about sanitization, about washing our hands. Okay, that has been told in the past 1 hour. I just cannot stress enough upon the importance of washing hands regularly. While going out, if it's not possible, definitely carry a sanitizer at all times. And once when you return back home from your respective workplace or wherever, if you go for any necessary stuff or any necessary work, then after coming home, try to take a shower. It's all summers in India, most parts of India, then so of course you can easily take a shower, wash your hands, and whatever clothes you were wearing, just try to keep them in a separate place out of reach of small children and where the elderly can't really access that easily. These are just small things, small changes we need to inculcate in our daily lives, right? Do these things, and in order for our own safety, what we can do is just do warm saline gargles. Take some lukewarm water, add some salt to it, and just gargle it. So if by accident any of the virus particles enters our mouth or the throat, they just can get washed away. These are just small precautionary steps to be taken. Wash your face, wash your hands. Of course, those things are there, and yeah, these are certain things that are to be kept in mind. Now comes the question of what to do if somebody shows symptoms. Now this time the virus actually is showing varied symptoms. The symptoms are kind of different from what it was in the first wave. Like in the previous wave, the GI symptoms, the gastrointestinal symptoms that were not that common, but this time actually stomach pain, diarrhea, they are quite common. Okay. Skin manifestations were not that common in the previous wave, but this time They are quite common. Their skin rashes, their dry mouth, their rashes around the mouth, and also in the buccal cavity, I mean inside the mouth. So yeah, varied range of symptoms are present along with the previous symptoms of fever, cough, body ache, shortness of breath. Okay, now what to do if you are symptomatic, if you show any of the symptoms? Now, majority of the cases are having actually mild symptoms, and they can be treated inside the home. I know it is really difficult to find bed in the hospitals, but if you're showing initial symptoms or very mild symptoms, just consult your family doctor over the phone. Okay, whatever he advises, just follow. And the most important thing, first and the foremost thing which I forgot to mention, is do not panic. Okay, everything's here, everything is there in the brain. It's all psychology. See, doctors can actually support your treatment. It all depends on your body. It also depends on your zeal, your enthusiasm, how much you want to get fit, how much you want to get cured of the disease. Of course, everybody wants to get fit and everybody wants to get rid of the disease in case he or she gets infected. But most important thing is not to panic. Okay, don't be too anxious. Have faith in yourself that you will overcome the disease. You will get cured of the disease. I know it is more easier said than done, but trust me, it actually helps. I have seen people getting treated just with this sheer zeal and the enthusiasm to, get treated, get cured. Okay, so first and foremost thing is do not panic. If you have any of the symptoms, consult your doctor immediately. My friends and families who have my contact number can definitely contact me anytime as per your will. So consult your family doctor immediately. Mild to moderate diseases are getting cured at home, and a slight moderate disease. But if you have moderate to severe disease, then the doctor will advise and direct accordingly, and do follow his or her advice. In case if your children are infected or if they show any kind of symptoms, do not hesitate to call a pediatrician. Okay, because a pediatrician would better suggest what to do, and of course you guys know that they would be knowing better what would be the best for your children. Okay, similar goes for adults, I mean the elderly people with comorbidities. If any kind of symptoms are visible, just straight away contact the doctor and do as he or she recommends or advises. Okay, but still, in every kind of situation, try to maintain your composure, try to maintain a cool head. You know what, if you do that, many of the problems can actually be sorted out with a cool head. I know the beds are in scarcity, and I myself do not know what's gonna happen, how the events are gonna unfold in a few days. But you know what, one thing that I can be sure of, that everything lies in our hands. It's all up to us. If we take the precautions, we can actually avoid the infection to a great extent. And if each of the individual contributes even a little bit, the infection as a whole can be controlled. I mean, public health, it's actually it's something like that. It all begins from the individual. Okay, it all begins from the community, and in the long run, it actually impacts the health of all the individuals, okay, all the citizens of that particular area or the country. So we need to be very much aware and cautious. Now, it's actually normal to be saddened about, to be stressed about. I mean, I told earlier that to try to maintain your calmness and composure as far as possible, not to panic. But there are individuals out there are people out there. In fact, I am myself one of those individuals. I mean, I'm also suffering from. I won't say that I'm in the best of my mental health. Okay, I wouldn't say out actually what I'm facing right now, but still with a smile, I would like to tell you certain things which I intend to in this video. So it's really normal to feel stressed, to feel low down, feel depressed, be saddened, like all kind of depressing emotions. It is very much obvious, you guys, like the scenario, nobody expected this to happen. The general populace I'm speaking about, I'm not talking about experts, okay. um it's happening, like it seemed like as if everything was going out to be normal and things were slowly and steadily returning to normal, but and all of a sudden this something like this happens. So it might actually come out to be a shocker for many of the individuals, okay. Staying locked at home, not being productive, not being able to do things according to the plans. Even I also had certain plans, and right now I do not know whether I would be able to execute them. So it's like if you are having any such kind of an issue, it's very much normal, okay. You are not alone. I mean, many of the individuals are going through the same pain, the same grief, okay. I know it. You might feel really low down. You might feel as if you do not want to do anything. If you might feel guilty for not being productive, for not doing the things you always intended to do. It's actually absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Most important thing right now is to survive, okay. You are surviving, and that is the most important thing to do right now. If you are avoiding the infection, if you are physically healthy, that is more than sufficient. That's enough. If you are able to keep your family members healthy, if you are able to keep them okay, if you are able to keep them all right, that's fine. Okay, most importantly, surviving, you know. Right now, the Darwin's theory is into action of survival of the fittest. That's absolutely true. Just survive. Just this too shall pass. This will also come to an end. See, everything has an end, right? So this wave is also gonna end. I mean, the tsunami. Okay. This wave is also gonna end. The numbers are gonna come down. You just need to have some patience. You just need to wait until then. See, my point is that we are in this fight all together. Okay, nobody is actually alone. This war against the virus can't be won alone, okay. It would require cumulative effort from each and every individual of this nation. And that is true because, I mean, it can infect anyone and everyone, okay. So, we are in this together. We have to fight it together. Everybody is trying to get out of it with the sound health, okay. So that is it. Now, social media might have lots of stressful news. The news channels might show a lot of stressful news. It's their job. They are doing this to, you know, make people aware of the current scenario. Now, if those things are stressing you out, better to avoid them. It actually works. Try that. Better to avoid them. The most important thing that I want to say is, don't believe blatantly on negative news, WhatsApp forwards, or just anything that is being spread on social media. Do your own kind of research if you actually want to know anything about the virus, the disease, or how it is manifesting. And then I would say read proper verified articles. Follow what experts say. Experts mean proper experts, public health experts, statisticians, and obviously specialized doctors, whatever they have to say, okay. Those WhatsApp forwards and all, I mean, yeah, they might create a panic-like situation, panic-like state, but don't pay heed to everything. You know, sometimes certain things need to be let gone off, okay. I mean, I personally was really affected for the past 2 or 3 days, and I was continuously scrolling all those kind of news. I was watching YouTube videos on what is happening and what's not happening, and it was actually taking a toll on my mental health. So I thought I would avoid it. I would actually better to avoid it. Deviating from the topic a little bit, I am trying to get the intensity of the blush as I want, but it's not happening today. I do not know why. Get your regular dose of information from trusted sources. And lastly, but not the least, do take care of whatever food items you are eating. Have good nutrition. If you are into diet or anything like that, consult your dietitian. But still, I would say try to avoid being empty stomach for few days, because what happens that if you're empty stomach, if you are going out without having any breakfast or anything like that, then there's increased propensity for infection. I myself do intermittent fasting, but I have stopped for this particular time because I just do not want to expose myself. I mean, give my chance. Even after all these precautions, if I end up getting infected, then it's just my bad luck. It's just a matter of time, okay? It's just a matter. We just need to calm our nerves, follow the specific protective measures, and rest everything is gonna fall into place. So yeah, that's how I look right now. This is a complete final look. Final closing statements would be: take care of yourself, take care of your family, have patience, okay? Eat proper food, have good amount of sleep, regular sleep, and try to avoid going out of your house as much as possible. Only if it's real emergency to get food and water to go to your workplace. But when you're going out, follow proper COVID safety procedures. But as of now, have some patience, have some perseverance. If each one of us do a little bit, contribute a little bit, then as a nation we are going to get out of it really soon. And as the government said that vaccination is gonna take place from, I mean, every individual above the age of 18 years is gonna get vaccinated from May 1st. Get yourself vaccinated. Please guys, get yourself vaccinated at the earliest. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching how I did this makeup. Okay, and if you did, then please do give me a big thumbs up. I will be back again with a brand new video. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, and bye bye. I love you all, and we are all together in this fight against COVID-19. Bye.